That just takes you on a whole journey. Holy cow.
Yeah, that was the Samorost 3 main theme.
So what kind of game is that?
So I'm so glad that you asked that question. Samorost 3 is a point-and-click adventure game made by Emanated Design, which I had to Google it. They are a Czech game developer. The team is probably just about 6-7 people. And
Okay.
you play as a gnome who finds a magic flute and goes on space adventures. And
I love it.
I remember just thinking, like, wow, this is the first two games were just Flash games that you could just play on a browser, and this one came out many years later, and it kind of had that same very happy, gentle feel. And I remember listening to it and thinking, wow, that is way more epic than I would have ever imagined you could make out of that premise.
Yeah, it sounds crazy. Like my mind goes to RPG first when I was thinking that. So I guess point and click adventure game, not too far off. The scale is a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but like I could definitely very clearly hear in that where like the different the different areas, the different worlds might be.
Yeah, definitely. Something that so the game itself is actually the original Samorost all the way up to this newer one were made with a very interesting graphic design, which is taking photos of nature, everything from mushrooms, fallen logs, just mossy rocks, and turning those into alien landscapes. I mean, who hasn't looked at a mushroom and thought, wow, that does look like an alien?
Okay.
So they went with that and really ran with it as far as they could and made them into these amazing, beautiful landscapes and made these fun little creatures that inhabit them. I think that's a good way to, or Thomas Dvorak, Floex, the artist, really brings that in as well, because he's a clarinetist mostly, as well as an electronic music producer. So really blending that acoustic and electronic, as well as, that real world and fantasy. I think that both the music and the game itself really blend those together.
Yeah. I'm looking at some of the art now. I don't know how much of this is from the third one and how much of it is from, the first two. But that art style seems like way too high a quality to be just like a simple Flash game.
Yeah, it definitely started off just as simple games. Once you can solve all the puzzles, I could get through in maybe 5 minutes, the original ones. But the first two were about that level. Then Emanated Design became very famous for their first full-length game, Machinarium, which is all hand-drawn puzzles about a robot in a robot city. This Samorost 3 was the next one, and it was on scale like very that I had not seen from this company before.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I'm just Googling through some of the images as well. It looks like most of them are from the third game, but some of them are from the first few.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, But like I said, it's so interesting, and especially with video game music too. It's cool how different areas you can sort of use the music to infuse it with a very specific vibe, and it gives like as a composer a lot of opportunity to experiment with instrumentation, and I think that was something that was really cool here because. Like in my mind, I could see the different environments as they were going past. It like started out in like a forest, and then the next one was like some sort of like frozen tundra or something. Probably just because of the bells that reminded me of like Carol of the Bells. But
you'll just have to play the game to find out.
Yeah, but that's so cool. Yeah. This is. I want to listen to just that entire soundtrack because
definitely give it a listen. You were spot on with the vibes completely change depending on the area, and he nails it with the music as well. To the point that my personal favorite track off of that 2.5 minutes is called Monkey Bath, but it's the most calm, serene, emotional track on that entire album.
All right.
So. Samorost 3 would highly give it a listen, as well as Floex. It's just a phenomenal composer. He doesn't just do video game music; he does a lot of his own music as well, and would really recommend it.
All right,
what do we got next?
So, my next one, going off a bit more mainstream now. We've still a smaller group. This group is called The Classic Crime. They're a Seattle-based group signed to Tooth and Nail Records. This song is called Alien.